Hello and welcome back to our retire early lifestyle at home or abroad. U.S.A. last one out, turn out the lights. Hurry up and leave. That's what we keep hearing and seeing a lot lately. But anyone can say anything they want about the state of the U.S.A. Today we're going to hit you right between the eyes, not with whining and complaining about how bad America is, but we'll be hearing directly from people that have left legacy countries to move here. That's right. Get your popcorn. Are you ready? The retire abroad media and bloggers can keep comparing the U.S. in a negative light with other countries all they want. The travel news can write articles about how disgruntled Americans are fleeing the U.S. in droves to move to Spain, Portugal, Canada for the American dream. The narratives can continue to spit out what some ears simply want to hear, but at the end of the day, the U.S.A. still has more people that want to move here than any other country in the world. The United States of America has by far the largest populations of Latin Americans and Asians than anywhere else in the world. But wait, I hear you asking, isn't that just a bunch of poor folks looking to escape their misery? Not necessarily. Hold on to that thought. So if you ask any Asian or Latin American where in the world would they most want to live, what would they say? I think they would say the United States. And the reason why people want to move to the U.S. is even though it has problems, it still has a higher standard of living than a lot of other places. 80% of the world population would like to relocate to the United States. The U.S.A. has more European expatriates than Europe has American expatriates. And this is just a fact. People that move to the U.S., even from legacy countries, say they love the quality of life, financial opportunities, the freedom, the culture, and scenic beauty. And in that order. We'll show you that all in a moment. In 2024, the United States had the largest number of immigrants, making it a top destination for people moving from other countries. Why does the USA stand out? Why has it always been at the top for popularity among people, even today in 2026? Now remember, as you watch this video, this information does not come from us. It's not coming from Frank and Angie, but from people that have expatriated from their home country to the United States. You can call them immigrants or expats. It doesn't matter to us. And yes, many come for the jobs and financial opportunities. So let's look at what foreign expats are saying about life in the United States. And now some of these folks, I'm sure, are now proud U.S. citizens. Now the source for these comments come from a post on Reddit, which has over 1,700 comments. The comments are from people who have expatriated from their home country to the USA legally and are now enjoying their quality of life here and everything the U.S. has to offer. So what do people appreciate the most about America? Well, here's a small fraction of what some of these expats appreciate. It makes you stop and think, hey, have I been taking my own country for granted? Because a Western European can double his or her income while paying 10% less taxes. Because the USA is without a doubt the best place to be if you want to work and build wealth. It is the land of opportunity. Middle and upper class Americans have no idea how good they have it. If middle and upper class Americans were not in debt, I think they would appreciate this comment in a different light. Unfortunately, many of us have listened to the gurus that tell us debt is good and it's normal to be in debt. No, it's not. Another commenter said the salaries, paying less tax, good schools, and less prejudice than many other countries, and ease of starting a business or a restaurant. Going through these comments, I've found this is the second person that has stated that prejudice and racism is much less in America than in Europe. I work in international mobility, and lots of people move to the U.S. for the work opportunity. As an American living in Texas, I can say the dream is still alive. I was practically broke in 2021. Now I own a company in the oil field, and it still doesn't feel real. I can't imagine being afforded the same opportunities in any other country. This is why we often say on this channel, moving abroad can stunt your financial growth. If you're young, you shouldn't be leaving the land of opportunity for a foreign country, because nowhere else in the world will you be afforded the prospects as you do in the United States. Another commenter said our ability to have access to the excess that can really only be called the American dream. Does it surprise anyone that people are saying they are living the American dream right now in America? Better opportunities, easier to start small business and make a life for yourself. Absolutely. We have always run small businesses in the U.S.A., which we call micro enterprises. We live the American dream and still do, even though now we're retired. We enjoy our laid-back lifestyle and we're not hurting for anything. Another commenter said because U.S. still is the best place to be if you are smart and ambitious. Because most other places just aren't that great for living or immigration. Because I can make a lot more money here than I can in the U.K. The U.S. is a great place to live if you're young, healthy, and working age. Young American people don't realize how well they have it in the United States. Abundance can be had living anywhere in America, and the American dream is still attainable. We think many young people today are distracted by the high cost of living and disturbed by the political discord and division happening right now. We don't realize it, but if we allow these negative things to control our thinking, it will impede our growth, and in every way, not just financially, but mentally. This is where some young people are today, and is why they think moving abroad is the next best thing, since, honey, the grass always looks greener when you have a poor attitude. On the other hand, the sentiment we keep seeing from folks moving to the U.S. in these comments is, yes, the cost of living is high, but so is the standard of living. Some people are just better at not allowing outside circumstances to bother them to the point of believing the U.S. is a terrible place to live. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and to change the things I do have control over and can change. An adage that applies universally. The commenters go on to say taxes are way lower, like almost half of what I'd pay in the EU. As you know, we can't post all the comments here, but everyone so far has had nothing but positive things to say about working and making a living in the U.S.A. Now we'll diverge the subject a bit from finances to the cultures and lifestyles of the United States, which comprises quality of life. The U.S. is a big place, and because of that, it offers a glorious tapestry of cultures, cuisines, and lifestyles, appealing to expats and travelers alike. Lifestyle options are abundant in the U.S.A. Simply go where it suits your fancy the best. From bustling cities to serene countryside, the U.S. offers a wide range of landscapes and environments to suit individual preferences. And so with that, here are more responses about quality of life in the U.S. by people who have moved here from other countries. I moved from Canada, and where I live now, standard of living is way better. My neighborhood is safer than it was in Canada. I nearly tripled my income. Healthcare is better. Yes, it's not free, but healthcare system in Canada is currently, he doesn't like it. It's a clown show. I will not be moving back to Canada and will stay here for as long as I can. You can make a lot of money in the U.S. If you have good income and employer in the U.S., you're better off than the average Canadian or Brit in terms of income and maybe even standard of living. The U.S. has really beautiful places with unique cultures and some with really high standards of living. The U.S.A. is great. It has amazing culture, ethnic and geographic diversity, and a can-do attitude. I love this comment about how Americans have a can-do attitude, and it's true. Americans do have possibility thinking and can-do attitudes. That's why America is at the top of the scale when it comes to building wealth and making the American dream come true. Yep, I spent 4 years in central London and moved back to New York as soon as I could. The quality of life in the UK is worse. Because for some of us, the United States of America is substantially better in many aspects. Because at the end of the day, it's better than a lot of other places. Because the rest of the world is a significant downgrade in terms of quality of life unless you're exceptionally rich and well-connected politically. Because most countries compared to the U.S. have very low standards of living. Having traveled a lot, I am always thankful to return back home to the U.S. Although I live in a highly desired city in California, we really have a lot going for us. Yeah, some folks realize how beneficial the U.S. has been for them. These types of people take full advantage of what the U.S.A. offers. And judging by the comments we just read, it's not just the excellent job opportunities, high-paying salaries, easy business startups, low taxes, corporate benefits, various investment opportunities, and wealth building, if that's what you want, but it's also the quality of life, the standard of living, and the geographical opportunities. The advantages just go on and on and on. The comments have shown that the benefits of what you have in America compared to living in Europe, UK, or Canada, because that is where most of these commenters are from, far outweigh their own country on almost every level. We're not saying this. This is not coming from Frank and Angie. These comments are from expats to America. Because Canada and Europe are even bigger dumpster fires, I'm a Romanian, grew up in Canada, moved to the U.S. 2.5 years ago, and life is so much better here. Many of the commenters talk about how much freer they feel living in the U.S.A. Sure, there are people trying to take away some of our freedoms that America was founded on, and they'll keep trying, and the American people are starting to push back. Foundationally, America is much freer than other countries, and some of us take these freedoms for granted. Many of these other countries appear to be freer on the surface, but recent history shows us just how volatile they really can be. So the simple rights and freedoms we take for granted, said a commenter. Americans have the Constitution and the Bill of Rights that help keep the troublemakers in line. The USA also has a constitutional president in office who can't stop kissing and hugging the American flag. You don't know how good you got it here, people, until you leave and take up residence in a foreign country. If you need to leave and experience that for yourself, no one is stopping you. Please, go right ahead. So again, folks, the commenters are seeing the USA as a land of opportunity to make money, but there is also a strong importance on liberty and individual freedoms and living standards. The United States is still the most free country on the planet. Another commenter said the right to bear arms, the freedom to say whatever we want, wherever we want, however we want, the freedom of travel coast to coast without having to produce papers or bribe an official at a checkpoint. Money and freedom, two of the biggest motivators for anyone and everyone. And lastly, the United States is comprised of a medley of natural beauty. We have a diverse landscape including mountains, beaches, deserts, and national parks, appealing to nature lovers and outdoor enthusiasts. Whatever you want, it's right here in the USA. We are the best and we have everything, and then they mention many of the states that are in the United States. right here in this comment. Another commenter said nature is really amazing here. Europe has some great places too, but living in the Pacific Northwest is really stunning experience. Of course, we're not saying you can't find your sweet spot abroad, but that is not the usual sentiment coming from Americans who have already lived abroad and have come home and are now ready to just take vacations. So that's what we're seeing, and so that is what's happening. Lastly, are we still believing in these fabricated narratives by the media reporting about how terrible the U.S. is? Most who believe that they can't succeed in the U.S. won't be able to succeed anywhere, but they're looking for places where failure is more fulfilling. Now that last sentence is eye-opening because whoever responded like this knows exactly what is going on with these false narratives about the U.S. being the worst country in the world. These other countries aren't the utopia these young liberals think they are. It's just become cool to say bad things about the U.S. Okay? So we just wanted to provide a different perspective from the people in the other shoes. Because once we walk in their shoes and see their thoughts on life in the USA, it actually provides us with a different view and perhaps will allow us to look at ourselves and wonder if maybe, just maybe, it is our own attitude we must change if we hate the USA so much. Heard this from a guy I work with from the UK. Americans complain all the time about X, Y, and Z, tax and healthcare, but don't realize how great they have it. So, some people get it and some people don't, but according to Expats, the lights are still on in America, USA. Thanks for watching today. Take care and bye-bye.